He goes all the way to the Franklinton 4-yard line, which sets up, of course, his own touchdown. This was a blowout right off the bat. And you know, folks, you don't have to hang from trees to be nuts, now do you? Darren Banks with the keeper there. Final, Clayton 30.
Clayton plays rude host to Franklinton tonight. The Comets get it going when Rod Clark powers his way into the end zone from 5 yards out. Now the very next possession, Chris Watson going to do the honors from the 3. Coach Gary Fowler's defense wants a piece of the action. They constantly give the offense great field position, and the offense says, hey, thanks. Clark's 7-yard run puts the exclamation mark on this one.
Clayton hosting Franklinton tonight. And in Clayton, the big play, wearing blue, quarterback Darren Banks going around the right corner for the short touchdown. This one was all Comets tonight. Watch the hole open up for Chris Watson, who scores. You want a touchdown? Here's another one. Watson in for another touchdown. Clayton's defense has given up only 20 points in 5 games. I'd grow some hair, too, if I had a team like that. Looking good. The final tonight, Clayton winning it over Franklinton, 33-8. With us now live from his home in Clayton is head coach Gary Fowler for Clayton. Gary, I want to thank you for joining us tonight.
Ron, it's a privilege for the TVD to come down to Clayton here and just kind of show the Clayton family here. As you see, I got them all in the background because we are a real close group down here.
Can they wave to us? Are they away?
Yeah, wave to them, guys. Let's go. Say wave to Ron. We're all close down here.
Coach Fowler, Dwayne Vallon here. Looks as though everyone's having a good time. Some people are saying, we've heard this, that this may be the best team you've ever had. You guys are ranked number 2 in your division. What do you think?
Dwayne, I don't know about that. Again, we're just trying to get better each week, and there's some things that we can do that we try to do well, and there's some things we know we can't do. And, again, we've got to go each week at this thing, trying to get better. And, again, the kids are working hard here. They've got good attitudes. And, again, the people like behind me, we've got a great staff here, and that's what's made this thing come together, Dwayne.
Gary, Clayton isn't the biggest school in the state. Certainly there are smaller schools. But what's the philosophy? You've had some successful programs here. This isn't your first winning season so far. What's the philosophy? How do you attack every season?
Well, Ron, probably, again, just like I told you, we got a philosophy here. We just say attitude makes the difference. And, again, it all starts with the kids here and then coaches and even the wives here. And that thing kind of carries over to everywhere and all through the town. And, again, it's been successful for us. And, again, we've been very fortunate, Ron.
Chris Watson scores a few touchdowns tonight. Tell me about that young man.
He's going to be a good one. The kid, he's not even able to drive yet, I don't think, Ron. So, again, he's just a sophomore. And, again, he's going to make somebody a good coach, and hopefully that's going to be me in the next couple of years. But, again, yeah, he's got a good future ahead of him.
Coach, I understand that you always have these big pizza parties after the game. What's the pizza of choice tonight?
We had all kind of different items here. In fact, we try to get Tim and John here, you know, to kind of make them a little happy anyway, because they drove all the way from Durham to for us to take part in this great event. Again, we do appreciate what y'all do for high school athletics, Ron and Dwayne. And again, this just shows the people of Clayton again that what Channel 11 is doing for the high school athletics.
Gary Fowler, head coach at Clayton, have a piece of pizza for us, and congratulations.
Thanks, Ron, Dwayne, too. Y'all come see us.
Okay, Coach.
We'll be back to see them. You know that. Stay with us later on in this program. We'll show you an incredible play.
Welcome back to the show. All time for those weekly showstoppers, our plays of the week. For Offensive Week, signifying an outstanding performance by a player from last week's games. Tonight, that young man is Clayton running back Rod Clark. He's one of the area's top ground gainers this season. In this action from last week at home against Wake Forest Roseville, Clark carried the ball 21 times for 156 yards. He scored 1 touchdown on offense and another on defense after intercepting the ball. Going into tonight's game, Rod had run for 598 yards. Ron?
You know, Webb has no trouble. Southern Durham with the shutout. Winless South Granville stays that way, 42-20. Clayton is still unbeaten. They win, and it's Northwood.
All right, folks, I'll tell you, a good football team. Coach Gary Fowler's Clayton Comets now 4th in the fabulous 15. Tonight they take a long trip to Warrenton to play 2-6 Warren County High School. Closer than expected. Clayton at the Warren County 5-yard line. Darren Banks fumbles. Warren County is going to recover. But the next play, Charles Perry of Warren County trying to pass from the end zone, called for intentional grounding, the safety, 16-12 Clayton. The Comets later are going to ice it. This is the great Roderick Clark from the Warren County 38. He could go all the way. He is going to break it. He is going to score. Touchdown.
Gets another touchdown. Final is Chapel Hill 28 and Webb 14. Also, it's Polk County shutting out Lumberton 19-0, and Orange High School over Hillside 19-6. on to Clayton, another unbeaten team going in. The Comets, ranked in the 2A top 2 all season. Clayton hosting South Granville. Are they the Clayton Comets or the Clowns? Well, South Granville will tell you they're the Comets, and more than that. Terrence Brown crashes in from the 3. It's already 10-0. Chris Watson with a touchdown later. His final score is Clayton 51 and Southern Granville 6. The Athens drive now. East Waco.
Have you recovered yet? Trip Nichols, our director from Halloween. All right, we had a crew in Clayton as the 8-0 Comets, 4th in the fabulous 15, taking on capital area 2A foe winless South Granville. It's a rout as expected. Clayton's Alexander Barnes, the carry up the middle to the South Granville 7. Next play, this is Chris Watson trying the right side. Touchdown, 17-0. More action, picking up the Comets on the move from the 12. Eric Bell, 9 yards down to the 3-yard line. Then it's Chris Watson again, this time from the 3. Touchdown. This made it 31-0. Clayton plays good D. South Granville goes for it. 4th and short. There for the stop, Dion Williams and Chris Freeman. This ball game.
The 2A now in the ever-popular, approaching legendary status, Gary Fowler and his Clayton Comets. Another 10-0 team looking to go the more important 1-0. And in the second quarter, it's Chris Watson, and the Comets are up 7-0. There'd be a lot more as Jerome Terry, with the interception here, goes 49 yards to set up a field goal, and Clayton breezes tonight. Clayton 27, West Brunswick.
Noted sports producer on the go tonight in Clayton. The undefeated Comets, the capital area 2A champs, hosting 7-3 West Brunswick out of the Waccamaw. Then in Garner, the undefeated Trojans, 10-0 for the season, taking on Vance High School, 8-2. The Deed says he's ready, and here's the highlights.
A fired-up Clayton team dominates this one from the start. Chris Watson dives in from the 1. Touchdown, Comets. Now West Brunswick quarterback Raymond Howard tests the Clayton secondary. No go. Jerome Terry picks it off and returns it 49 yards. Sets up the Eddie Sasser 30-yard field goal. Clayton streaks past West Brunswick 20.
Now let's go to Johnson County. Clayton visiting West Brunswick. Clayton coach Gary Fowler says, you got to push him back. Push him back. Quarterback Darren Banks for Clayton. Pitching out to Rod Clark. Coming this way. Dive on your feet. Stay on your feet. Rod Clark, 4-yard touchdown run for Clayton. The Super Comets rally the crowd. Get that fuzzy hair moving. West Brunswick quarterback Jeff Latino throwing deep. Intercepted by Clayton Jerome Terry. He runs all the way back to the 5-yard line. A big interception for the Clayton Comets. They win it tonight over West Brunswick. The final 27-6. Clayton, those Super Comets, will be hosting Wallace Rose Hill.
Think again. Clayton's Rod Clark has been unstoppable on the ground or in the
Just being able to play tonight was an accomplishment. You know, plenty of teams were cheerful just to begin the playoffs this evening.
And the Tarbell Vikings were especially full of glee. Nice going, ladies. Very good. The regular season is over, but marching bands keep playing their hearts out.
Listen now to the 48 members of the Clayton Comets as they step in time to the music.
Some smooth moves there.
I like that.
That is it.
All right, happy Friday, everybody. We begin with an old backyard brawl, that great rivalry, Fuquay-Varina versus Clayton. It is our football game of the week, and Tyler Glover has it.
All right, pick it up first quarter. Clayton up 7-0. Darren Banks coughs up the ball, and Fuquay recovers, but they can't convert the turnover into points as the Comet D holds at the goal line. The next series, Banks is going to throw an interception, and this time it pays off. Chuck Berry dives through for a 7-7 tie. But late second quarter, Alexander Barnes is going to power in to give Clayton a 13-7 lead at halftime. Third quarter, the Comets increase the margin as Chris Watson finds some daylight for a 19-7 lead. The Bengals, though, come back. Tommy Buckner's 10-yard pass to Brent Hare makes it 19-14, but that's as close as it gets. Jerome Terry counters with a 10-yard run of his own, and then minutes later, Rod Clark, injured hand and all, takes it 14 yards as Clayton remains undefeated and take the Capital Area 2A crown. The final, 34-14.
This is a goal that these guys set about 4 weeks ago to go this way, and just like we told them at halftime, they had 24 minutes to achieve a goal that they set here about 5 weeks ago, and by gosh, they came out and did it. And that's why I'm so tickled for them.
Clayton gets the bragging rights as both teams head for the playoffs. In Fuquay, Tyler Glover, WPTF TV Sports.
For the Capital Area 2A Championship turns into a runaway after the break. Clayton leads 13-7 when Chris Watson dives from the one. 19-7 Comets. The Comets will ice this one when the banged-up Rod Clark sweeps left end for 14 yards in the TD. Clayton wins at 34-14, and Coach Gary Fowler gets the water cooler treatment. But Coach doesn't mind getting soaked.
I'll take it tonight, because they just did something tonight. I saw something from a bunch of young men that they just won't be denied.
Clayton finishes the regular season 10-0, undefeated. DJ Kazmerzak, Football Friday.
Matchup in Fuquay Arena between two 2A superpowers in our area. The Clayton Comets cheering their team on, wearing white. Hey, Halloween's over, gang. Clayton's Chris Watson takes the handoff, dives over the goal line. Clayton's up 18-7 in the third quarter. Fuquay mounts an assault early in the fourth. Tommy Buckner hitting Brent Hare in the corner of the end zone. Fuquay comes to within 4, but Clayton calls the quarterback keeper. Coming this way. Check this out. Darren Banks, nice play on the quarterback keeper. Clayton's defense goes to work. Humble, Fuquay, humble, recovered by Clayton. The Comets get it, and with a broken wrist, Rod Clark runs wide. Get that broken wrist and the ball across. Got it. Touchdown, Clayton. Clayton wins it. Coach Gary Fowler gets the Gatorade shower. Clayton winning it. The final, 34-14.
We came out with some air rush. We got some people beat up, and those guys came around and pulled together and played this game the way I think it should have been played. It was a class act out here all the way from both sides, a lot of hard hitting, and this is what high school football is all about.
Now go dry those socks out. Congratulations to Gary Fowler's Clayton Comets, 1989 Capital.
To East Bladen, where the first time Clayton touched the football, Jonathan Jenkins ran the punt back for 6 points. It would be a long night for the home folks at East Bladen. Here goes Rod Clark. He scores, makes it 14-zip. Now let's make it 21-0 coming up as Clayton gets a touchdown right here from Chris Watson. And the Comets coast as they blast East Bladen. Kind of one-sided. Kind of surprising there that it's such a blowout. Clayton 34. Football Friday.
All right, the Comets of Clayton, undefeated now. Third in the fabulous 15, traveling to Bladen County tonight to take on a tough East Bladen team. The Polish Prince, DJ Kazmerzak, on the scene with the Comets tonight and has more.
Clayton gets on East Bladen right away. First time they touch the ball, in fact. Jonathan Jenkins takes the Cougar punt. He goes 58 yards for the 7-zip lead. Now, East Bladen can't figure out the Comet defense, but Clayton's Rod Clark has no trouble with the Cougar D. Here he goes, 35 yards and the score. Now, quarterback Darren Banks does a nice job all night running the Clayton offense. He sets up Chris Watson from the 5. Comets lead 21-6 at half. But Coach Gary Fowler isn't satisfied.
24 minutes of the toughest football that you've ever been involved in. And let's find out who's
Second half, the Clayton defense doesn't give the Cougars an inch, and the Comets let Clark do the work on offense from his own 4. He's gone. 96 yards, the touchdown. Clayton rolls past East Bladen 34-6. They will host Farmville Central in the Eastern 2A Finals next week. DJ Kazmerzak.
Two big high school football powers hit together tonight. One big power, one big power.
Bigs are real good. Where they got a kid almost 300 pounds on Farmville Central. So
they raise them big.
Bigger they are, harder they fall, maybe, right? Clayton and Farmville Central met tonight for the right to play for the state championship in 2A. The Comets and Farmville kicked off 13-0. Did the Clayton speed beat that Farmville size? Let's find out from Mark Barter.
Hey, it's 7:30. It's game time. It's their time. It's 48 minutes. Go!
With that said, these two unbeatens commenced to knocking heads, and first quarter, neither offense could get anything. But in the second quarter, Clayton breaks through. Darren Banks hits for the long pass play into Farmville territory. And then the sophomore, Sharon Terry, breaks loose into the Jaguars secondary, outstepping the tacklers and racing for the end zone in a 7-0 Clayton lead. But Farmville responds with a drive of its own. Quarterback Morris Foreman caps it on 4th down to make it 7-6. Then the 2-point conversion makes it Farmville 8, Clayton 7 at halftime. Third quarter, more defense. Neither team is able to break through for the score. Clayton coach Gary Fowler looking for a break for his team, and they get it in the fourth quarter with just under 7 minutes to go. The Jaguars fumble the ball deep in their own territory, and the Clayton Comets recover. They are in business. 4 plays later, old reliable Rod Clark scores, puts the Comets back in front. The 2-point try fails. Clayton leads 13-8. Farmville with one last try to win it. Final 2 minutes, but Rod Clark with the interception for the Comets, and that ices it. Clayton wins the Eastern 2A title 13-8 over Farmville. The Comets will host Monroe next Friday night for the state 2A title. In Clayton, Mark Barger,
The town of Clayton and about half the town of Farmville turn out for tonight's Eastern 2A title game in Clayton. And with the story, here's Tom.
Folks, this is a nail-biter. Picking up second quarter, 0-0. Clayton from the Central 42. This is Sharon Terry. He's in the clear. He could score. He will. Touchdown, Clayton, 7-0 Comets. But the Jaguars have a great player in junior quarterback Morris Foreman. Right here, 4th and 10 from the Comet 27. He scrambles. He's going to pick up the first down at the 17. 7 plays later, Foreman off the left side. Touchdown. It's 7-6. And watch the razzle-dazzle on the extra point. It's the center-eligible Morris Foreman to Anthony Foreman. 8-7 Farmville Central at halftime. And that's the way it stays well into the fourth quarter. Clayton gets a break. Farmville Central fumbles. The Comets recover at the Central 16. Behind the running of Rod Clark. Clayton gets it down to the 1. Then it's Clark diving in. Touchdown. The extra point fails, but it's 13-8. Now it's up to the Comet defense. Farmville has one more chance, but it ends when Rod Clark picks off the Foreman pass. Clayton is going to the state championship game.
If they didn't get their money's worth tonight, I don't think you'll ever get your money in high school football. It's just a heck of a ball game, and it was a full 48 minutes.
13-8, Clayton over Farmville Central. Tom Suter, WRAL TV. Oh, man, are they celebrating in Clayton tonight? The Clayton Comets cap an undefeated season by winning the state 2A football championship. The Comets 16, Monroe nothing. Bob Holliday in Clayton tonight, and as the story.
And I love you more than I've ever loved anybody in my life. Because you're so richly deserved now. Let's go.
Is Clayton sky high? Watch running back Rod Clark. Whoa. And the Comet defense is flying high, too. Look at Clayton contain Richard Huntley, the one Monroe calls Superman. The story tonight isn't Superman, it's the little man. Look at Darren Banks scramble out of the backfield. He rips off 3 first-half runs of better than 10 yards. After this one, Clayton's Eddie Sasser goes for the field goal. Got it. Tonight, 3 points mean a lot. Second half, the Comet defense backs Monroe against the goal. On 3rd and long, the Rebels go for the halfback option, but it is picked off by Clark. He runs it back inside the Monroe 10, and just a few plays later, Chris Watson goes in for the touchdown. They're waving the championship flag in Clayton. The Clayton defense does the rest. The Comets 16, Monroe nothing. The celebration is on.
They got more heart than anybody I've ever been around. If anybody has deserved anything, these kids right here deserve it.
We did it! Great job! Great job! They won the state title playing 6-man football back in the 50s, but this is the first state championship playing the 11-man version. They're big-time excited about it. In Clayton, Bob Holliday, WRL TV 5 Sports.
No question. Congratulations to the Clayton Comets. How does state 2A champion sound?
The Comets have captured the first state football title in school history tonight. Clayton shuts out the Monroe Rebels 16-0. WTVD's Tony Debo reports in Clayton.
It's fun time. We've waited a long time for this. We got 48 minutes of fun right now.
From the moment Gary Fowler and his Comets took to their home turf against Monroe, this was intense fun. And Clayton took this state 2A title with defense. The little offense there was came in the form of quarterback Darren Banks. With Monroe keying on Rod Clark, Banks found running room. This dash set up Eddie Sasser's 28-yard field goal, 3-0 Clayton at half. They wouldn't need any more. In the third quarter, Monroe never had a chance offensively. Then come fourth, a Clark interception set up Chris Watson from short yardage and some valuable breathing room. It's only fitting Clayton capped the night with Deion Williams' interception return for 6. How about those Clayton Comets? Let the party begin. The crown's theirs. This 16-0.
You said before the game, go out and have fun. Did you have fun?
Hey, you Tony, this is fun. This is worth it all right here.
Our defense that carried us through the year, they came through again.
I feel great. Senior, last year playing, state championship, something to go out with.
Why not go crazy? Not only did Clayton cap a perfect season, but they're proud owners of the first ever state football championship. Way to go, guys. Tony Debo, WTVD 11 Sports.
Congratulations.